updates coming in from the Supreme Court. The top court has called out the culture of announcing freebies just ahead of the elections. Hearing a PIL related to night shelters, the Supreme Court says people are unfortunately not ready to work now because of freebies. The top court also observed that people are getting free ration and free money without doing any work. The Supreme Court has asked, are we not creating a class of parasites by not promoting the poor to be a part of the mainstream society by contributing to the development of the nation? Legal editor Harish Nair joining us on the broadcast with the details. Harish, strong words by the top court. Supreme Court asking, are we not creating a class of parasites by not promoting the poor to be a part of the mainstream society? What happened in the top court?
Yes, that's right, Pratibha. In fact, the Supreme Court was hearing a matter related to night shelters. The Justice B.R. Gawai said, till how long will we be giving night shelters, and why don't we bring these poor to the mainstream so that they can contribute to the country? So the Supreme Court was hearing PL related to night shelters. The Supreme Court said, unfortunately, because of freebies, people are not willing to work. Free ration money without doing any work, rather than promoting them to be part of the mainstream society by contributing to the development of the nation. Are we not creating a class of parasites? This is what the bench asked. This was when the Council for Delhi Government informed the court that shelters were in a dilapidated state. Justice Gawai said the affidavit says facilities would be provided to them rather than promoting them to be part of mainstream. By contributing to the development of the nation, are we not creating a class of parasites? Then you went on to say, unfortunately, because of these freebies, which just on the anvil of elections, some Ladki Bahan, some Yojana, some other schemes, people are not willing to work. They are getting free ration. They are getting an amount without doing any work. Why should they? Would it not be better to make them part of mainstream society, permit them to contribute to the development of the nation? Remember, the same judge had recently, during a hearing regarding depriving retired judges of pension and salary dues, had said state has money to give freebies but cannot pay judges. That oral remark had come in response to submission by the central government that the government has to consider financial constraints when paying salaries and pension to judges of district judiciary. Supreme Court specifically cited Ladli Behna Yojana in that case by the Maharashtra government and recent promises made by various political parties ahead of Delhi polls. And so, once again, Justice B.R. Gawai making scathing comments as far as doling out of freebies is concerned.
All right. Harish will come back to you on what next in the Supreme Court. Do stay with us. R.P. Singh of the BJP is with us. Mr. R.P. Singh, scathing criticism by the Supreme Court that says that are we not creating parasites by not promoting the poor to be a part of the mainstream society? It has also spoken of some of the schemes that have been introduced by the BJP government and slamming the freebie culture in politics.
Supreme Court is a little harsh by using the word parasite. Because you need to handhold certain section of society and help them to come at par with the other section of society. But yes, Supreme Court should divulge into the budgetary allocation. That if you are making commitment, then one should announce their budgetary allocation beforehand, so that people should come to know that these freebies will stand or not, or they will be able to deliver on these freebies or not. And also that certain amount, Supreme Court should, I don't know whether they can or they should try and divulge into whether they can put some level of restriction on how much amount can be spent on the social welfare schemes and how much amount has to be spent on development work. Because if your social welfare, so-called freebie schemes are hampering the development, that is harmful for the country also. So we are hopeful that they will do that and they will not use such harsh word like parasite for a poor person who need to be handled.
Okay, all right. Mr. R.P. Singh, thank you for joining us. Harish, the Supreme Court using some very harsh words while slamming the freebie culture. It was also talking about the political parties that make these announcements. But what next in the Supreme Court? How is this going to change? Has the Supreme Court also spoken about bringing any framework for the same?
Yes, but what we should remind our viewers is that this is not this is actually a stray remark, oral remark by the Supreme Court judge. This matter did not pertain mainly to the freebie culture. This was oral remark made during the hearing related to night shelters. Remember, Supreme Court had said that even the High Court since 2010 has been monitoring the issue of night shelters for the poor, and also Supreme Court has been is taking into consideration these aspects of the poor. But Justice Gawai during this hearing wondered, why not bring this poor to the mainstream and make them do some work so that they can contribute to the development of the country? That's why he said, rather than promoting them to be part of mainstream society by contributing to the development of the nation, are we not creating a class of parasites? Yes, definitely it's a very controversial remark. We'll have to wait and watch how this pans out, Pratibha.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us with those details.